Welcome everyone to RoXtar Media. Thanks so much for joining me for another great interview. And this one's going to be a lot of fun because we're talking to an old friend of mine. Jordan Peterson just dropped his brand new debut album. I am so excited because I've been listening to this album a couple of times this week, and it's got my feet tapping, it's got me grooving and bopping along, and it's such a fun, people ask me what's this album like. I say, it's a fun, upbeat, really well played album from every respect. I think from some of the deeper lyrics you have, then the more fun stuff as well. So Jordan, you did a great job on your debut. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was going for, is just kind of uplifting and just, music from my heart, basically. I didn't try to stick to one certain genre. I just wrote it, whatever came out. And so I feel like there's kind of a bunch of different genres on there. There's funky stuff, and there's like Irish flavored stuff, and there's
70s stuff.
70s stuff. So yeah, but I feel like it all kind of came together somehow. So I'm glad it all worked out.
Now, speaking of the great musicianship on the album, Jordan, why don't you tell us who's joining you tonight?
This is Ray McGee. He's been my piano partner, and he's my best friend. And he plays Hammond on the album. I don't know. Is there anything you want to say about? I knew immediately I wanted him to be a part of the production, and I knew that I wanted him to play the Hammond organ. We played across from each other, dueling pianos.
So we met at Walt Disney World. That's where he came off a cruise ship, and we hired him to play at Disney World.
Yeah.
And he auditioned and he played half of a song, and I was thinking in my head, he's hired. He doesn't know it yet, but he's already got a job. He doesn't even have to finish the chorus of this. We're done.
Yeah, we worked together for like about 3 years.
4 years.
4 years almost.
We used to kill it at Disney World.
We had a pretty good show, and so this is
musically we collaborate very well together. We always have a, it just takes two yeses for us to agree on something, but only one no. If one of us says no, then we go, okay, well, we need two yeses here. If does this guitar sound right? We don't care who's right. We just want the music to be right. We're very agreeable music. We always have been very agreeable musically.
Yes.
Because we don't care who's right. We just want it to sound good.
Yeah.
And we trust each other with everything musically.
Yeah, it was a really good. It was a really fun process just recording the album, and so so he's co-producer basically.
Very cool. Well, you know what? Since we're learning so much about Ray, Jordan, for people who don't know who you are, can you give a quick introduction? Like, who are you? Where do you come from? Like, what's a little bit of your background musically, maybe?
Well, my name's Jordan Micheal Peterson, but I think you know that already. But I come from Nebraska, actually. I come from a town called O'Neill, Nebraska, and I basically went straight from there. I started working on cruise ships and doing the solo piano bar kind of thing, where I take requests. And I put out an EP while I was on the cruise ships, and I had a couple of original songs on there, but there were a few covers as well. And then I came off the cruise ships. I started working at Disney World, and I basically stopped writing music. I didn't think I was ever going to do it again. And then during the quarantine, I for some reason just felt all this inspiration, and I just wrote all these songs within a couple months. And I called Ray up and I said, I really want to write this album, and I don't have any songs yet.
Yeah, and like 15 minutes later, he called me and said, okay, I have 10 songs. And I said, what? And they were these songs. They were all perfect. Just the way, out of the box, they just came so quickly.
I texted him every single day. Here's another demo. I would just make the demos on GarageBand, with a really fake sounding like sax solos, and I would just play on the synthesizer. But I'm glad you believed in the album.
Absolutely.
And we did it. We made it happen.
Well, that's so cool. We're all glad that you did, because you've really put out a really great debut. And I want to just mention, the album itself, it starts off on such a fun, upbeat, happy note, which is like the way I would describe the album, with Better Kind of Love. And tell us a little bit about that song.
That song is just I wanted to write a happy song. I almost feel like I feel like it's all we were joking about this. It's almost like I have this almost naive desire that everybody can just be better people to each other. And it's like, maybe, yeah, call me crazy, but I want people to just treat each other better.
Also in the middle of COVID, in the middle of political things and turmoil and people bickering on social media. And
it kind of came from that. There's a lot of
Jordan was just thinking we can do better than this.
Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and sometimes I just want to turn off all the technology, put down your phone, and just
listen to the song.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think that's the best way to be. And why don't we play a little bit of the song for everybody out there to hear it?
Sure, let's do it.
You ready? Yep.
It's a little bit scary these days. People walk around town like nothing ever even changed, and everybody's got something to say. Using someone else's words on a social page. Turn off your phone. Turn up this song. We could be free, we could be us, we can have a better kind of love. We could be right, we could be wrong, we can be safe, we can be strong. We can hold hands, we can take a stand. I can be a better kind of man. And all I know is we can have a better kind of love.
That is so much fun. Right? Love it, guys.
Yeah, it's a toe tapper.
It is, yeah.
Wow.
That's my 70s. I feel like that's kind of like Hall & Oates style song. That's how I see it. Yeah. I've always liked 70s style of me. I've always gravitated towards that style. So it's my 70s style.
It's your dad's record.
It's my yacht rock song.
Your dad's record collection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that's, another cool thing about, let's say, what you two guys are doing. And, we're not seeing as much, sadly, in music today. It's just like musicians playing music, like with some great melodies, harmonies. Yeah. You can understand the words. It's uplifting. It's
chord changes.
Yeah.
Right. And I felt that too. I was listening to the album, and a lot of times I was like, oh man, it sounds really kind of like, that 70s and, early 80s sort of singer-songwriter type of thing. Yeah. And I got that feel from the first listen of the album.
Great. I'm glad you did. Yeah, that's definitely what we were going for. I feel like that's kind of the music I gravitate to. I just can't help it. It's my vibe, 70s vibe.
Well, that's great. So one thing I know, Jordan, you and I talked briefly before this interview, but I wanted to mention my favorite song, but I actually now have two favorite songs on the album, by the way, because I know we did talk initially about one, which is You Keep Me Up at Night.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I love that song, yeah.
What's that one about?
That one is, that was written maybe, I don't know, that might have been maybe one of the 5th or 6th songs I was writing when I was just, all I could think about was writing songs, and I had all these ideas.
That's your favorite song on the album.
That is my favorite song on the album too. So I'm glad it's yours. And I had all these ideas running through my head, and I wasn't sleeping very well because I was just so inspired. I was laying on the couch, I was staring at the ceiling, and I was just thinking, I had the thought to myself, I said, what keeps me up at night? And I thought, well, that would be a cool song title. And then I tweaked it a little bit. I think it would be better if it was You Keep Me Up at Night. And so the rest of the song kind of flowed from that. So.
Well, let's hear your favorite song off the album.
All right, let's do it. so good tomorrow. I think you took a bite. I got nothing left for you to borrow. I'll leave you out of my sight. You keep me up at night.
Now, as that song was ending, guys, we start to get into a really great guitar solo, and there's so much great guitar work on this album. Another one, I think it's Highway Home, has another great
Halfway home. Yeah, Halfway Home. Yeah.
Halfway Home.
Well,
Halfway
that
Home.
one, there's a bunch of it. There's a great one on Where Do We Go. I definitely didn't shy away from.
No.
We have our guitar player Alejandro. We met on cruise ships. I think, did we talk about that already? I think we might have. Can't remember.
A little bit.
But
A little bit.
Tell us- yeah,
They're in Colombia. They're in Colombia, so we would do a couple demos. We'd Dropbox them the tracks. They would write parts. They'd send them back. We'd approve usually because they were so good. Sometimes you go maybe a little bit this way, maybe a little that way. Send it back. They'd send back another. They'd send back things that we were not expecting, and they turned these songs with chords into these wonderful arranged. They arranged everything.
Yeah, they wrote parts. They didn't just comp. You know,
neither one of us are afraid to say that this, without those three gentlemen in Colombia, this would not be happening like this. They're just genius. We love them so much.
And I knew immediately from day one that I wanted them to play on this album, but
I had never met them or heard them, so I'm thinking cruise ship musicians.
Like, you don't understand. These guys are good.
Like, are we really having cruise ship musicians? But they can play anything.
And Alejandro, in particular, on the guitar, he knocked it out of the park. Especially on this one. That's partly why it's my favorite, because he just kills it. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Can you guys tell us about all three of the musicians who play?
So guitar is Alejandro Hurtado, also called Pity. That's his nickname, Alejandro Pity Hurtado. And on drums is Jairo Ospina. And on bass is Diego Gutierrez. And I knew them as the soundtrack trio. I think I met them on the Celebrity Century. And we just hit it off. We would jam together. You know, I would sit in on their sets, and we just really hit it off musically. So I'm so happy they got to play on it.
Yeah, for this entire album, we've never been in the same room.
Yes, yeah.
All right, well, guys, here's the thing. We've got all these great, fun, upbeat songs. But you know, what's a cool thing, too, again, talking about the diversity of this album, there's some pretty deep, powerful, meaningful stuff on here. Those Days in particular.
Those Days was kind of an experiment in songwriting, and it's kind of funny. When I was writing it, my wife was home too, because we were both quarantined, so she heard the whole album writing process. And she heard me play that song, and she was like, "Is that about me?" Because it's a breakup song, even though it's not about a specific breakup. It's like I've been broken up with. So
I think that's
comes out. I think
the art to being a musical artist is to take. In the old days, there were no singer-songwriters. It was just Tony Bennett singing someone else's song, and he has to embody that song. Yeah. He has to sell it. If it's happy, if it's sad, if it's mad, So I think it's a perfect song. I love the song.
Thank you.
Well, you know what, Ray? Since you love this song so much and you think it's such a perfect song,
you want me to play it for you?
Yes. Why don't we let everybody have a taste of it?
All right, let's do it. Take a look at yourself. Tell me what you see there. Are you feeling hurt? Well, that's a first. 'Cause I'm okay with myself, and I don't wanna be there pretending we're okay anyway. I don't really know where I'm going with it, and this all just feels so strange. But I can't do this anymore. We were happy for a moment, but I have it like before. And I just want to spend the day with you, but I spent those days so fast. What can I do?
One thing that you've done that's pretty cool is you were able to release a music video for the release of this album. And I want to know if you could talk a little bit about the song and the meaning behind this very emotional, powerful video.
Yes. This song is called Pinpricks, and it's a really emotional song for me because I am a type 1 diabetic, and I grew up ever since I was like 10 years old. I was diagnosed, and I remember I wanted to write a song as a thank you to my parents because they raised 3 children with type 1 diabetes. And I'll never forget it. When I was at the doctor's office, I was so angry at my mom for the longest time because the doctor came in and he said, I think your son might have type 1 diabetes. And she was just trying to be a good mom. And so he left, and the chances aren't good. It's like 1 in 1,000 or something that I would have had type 1 diabetes. So she was just trying to be a good mom and calm me down and said, no, you don't have type 1 diabetes. And then, of course, he came back in and he said, you do have type 1 diabetes. So I was pretty angry at her for a long time, and I feel bad about that as an adult. So when I was writing this album, I was thinking back on that, and I was thinking, I thought as a child that was so hard for me to grow up with type 1 diabetes, but as hard as that was for me, it must have been 10 times harder for a parent to have to raise not just one kid with type 1 diabetes, but my brother and my sister as well. And I think they did a pretty good job. I think we all grew up to be good people, I hope. So I wanted to make sure I wrote a thank you song to them. Pinpricks at 3 a.m. Needles and tubes. A sister and a brother. We all made it through. Though you were hurting inside, we didn't have a clue. As hard as it was harder on you.
All right, so from that, guys, we're going to go into something a little bit more lighthearted and a bit fun. So I'm going to ask both you and Ray, what is your favorite meal to cook, if you do cook, and if you don't cook, what is your favorite meal in general?
Okay, this is super easy for me. My favorite meal is actually pad thai, and it's my wife's favorite meal too. We cook it like a couple times a month, I think, and I like it so much that my family, even for Christmas, got us a wok because they know how much I love to make pad thai. And I have to make it with peanut sauce. She doesn't like the peanut sauce, but I have to. What?
You put peanut sauce on everything.
I know, I do. It makes it better. So that's my favorite. That's easy for me. Yeah.
You will not put peanut sauce on my beef stroganoff because it's perfect just the way it is.
Yeah.
Made with the best cuts of meat I can find, and I make it. Some people put, my friends from England put theirs on rice. I don't understand that. I make mine with some extra wide egg noodles.
Oh.
And I make it from scratch, and it can't be beat.
You're gonna have to make it for me. I don't think I've ever had your
Yes,
beef
you have.
stroganoff.
You had it at my English friend's house. We had beef stroganoff.
All right. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I sorry. It must not have been that memorable for me. It was delicious. You'll have to make it again. I'll put peanut sauce on it.
Speechless.
I love it. See, this is why it gets so lighthearted, you see?
Yeah, it's just become very heavy all of a sudden.
I know.
Yeah, there we go. The love went right out the window, you know?
Gone.
Yeah.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah. Well, here's another one that I ask every artist I've always spoken to, and it's become sort of my tag question that a lot of fans of my channel and fans of artists look forward to this question.
Okay.
So Jordan and Ray, two of you are separately, by the way, stranded on your own desert islands. You will never be rescued, but you have your solar-powered vinyl record player with you. Let's stress that. Okay.
Yes, we both have one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the top 3 desert island discs you're going to bring with you to that island?
All right. This is kind of hard for me because anyone who knows me will say I say a lot of things are my favorite song. Like every time we would play songs, I'm like, oh, that's one of my favorite songs. I have a lot of favorite songs, but I would think, okay, top 3. Let's see. Is this in no particular order? Is that okay?
Yeah, no particular order. Yeah, it's just the 3 albums you want to have on a desert island with you.
All right. One of them for sure is Elton John, "Madman Across the Water." It's got 2 of my favorite Elton John songs on it, "Tiny Dancer" and "Leave On," tracks 1 and 2, and "Indian Sunset" is another one of my all-time favorite, like deep cut Elton John songs. Another album would be Tower of Power's self-titled album. That's got a song on it called "So Very Hard to Go." That is one of my all-time favorite songs for sure. Man, I'm gonna do a tie between "Mothership Connection" by Parliament. Yes, we want the funk. And "All in All" by Earth, Wind and Fire, because that is the album that my dad had an 8-track player, and he had that album on 8-track, and that was what introduced me to funk music. So that's probably a tie. Yeah.
All right. What about you, Ray? What 3 desert island discs are you going to bring with you?
Well, I'm going to cheat a little bit because 2 of mine are double albums.
Okay.
So,
Hey.
I'm going with first and foremost, the song remains the same, Led Zeppelin for sure.
Okay.
It just means everything to me. I still play it all the time. My second one would be Bob Seger's Live Bullet.
I know you like that one.
Because it's just rock and roll at its heart. I'm from Michigan, and so is Bob, and he's my idol. And my third one would be 7-Year Itch by Etta James. And I got to see her live in a small club in Arizona, and it's an excruciatingly beautiful recorded album. In fact, when we were looking for songs, when we record an album, and this song, you try to compare it to another song that's like it, and you A/B
like reference tracks.
Yeah, reference track. You A/B it to see if it sounds, as good as the other one does. And we used one of Etta James' songs as a reference track. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, you know what? We were talking before about favorite songs, and actually, I think I have a new favorite song from this album.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, if DJ RoXtar is going to be out on the open seas anytime soon, or even later, I'm going to start playing this one.
Nice. Yes. I would love that. That'd be awesome.
This is a song, and ladies and gentlemen, for those of you listening to the interview, this song is so good, it should be played on every and any top 40 radio station. It's worthy to be a top 10 hit. The production is that good. The sound is that good. The upbeatness of this. I mean, you're giving Bruno Mars a run for his money on this one.
Wow, thank you so much.
It's like such a Prince, I would say a Prince-inspired funk number, which is the title track, something like that. You want to tell us a little something about that, because it's such a great track.
The song is actually about working out a song.
Oh yes, and the lyrically, the song is about us. Basically, it's about me and you.
Backstage at Disney World, someone requests a song. We're on break, and we
Yeah.
dial it up on our phone, and how does this go?
Yeah.
How do we play this? How do we put this? Oh, we'll
Yeah.
fake it. We'll get
And
through this
we
part.
trust each other. We know we're gonna get
Yeah.
through this. We're gonna figure it out. I trust you. You know, it's
Something
kind
like
of,
that.
yeah.
You go something like that.
It's kind of like a song by a musician for musicians.
Yes.
You know, I think musicians will understand it because there's kind of a, I don't know, there's kind of a unspoken language you have on stage with someone where you're like, are we gonna get through this? I hope we do. It's that type of thing. Yeah.
Cool. Well, listen, since it's such a great song, and everybody listening now should hear this song when they buy your album, ask their local radio station to play it on the radio because it needs to be played on the radio. Can we hear a little sample of something like that and get a dance party, a funk dance party started?
Here we go.
Let's
You
do
gonna
it.
dance?
Oh, yeah.
How does this song go again? Tall riff and then the drums kick in. We'll just make it up, no one will ever know. Can you show me how it goes? Oh, what was that chord right there? I got to hear it again, never heard it anywhere. Good enough for me, we can fake it with the best. Can you show me how it goes? Something like that. Started off real smooth, yeah, put us on the map. Something like that. That I lost it in the middle, but I know I'm gonna bring it back. Something like that. You can turn it around if you're a funky acrobat. Something like that. Oh, something like that.
Love it, guys. Absolutely love it.
I love that.
So good.
That's one of his. That's my favorite moment of Ray on the album. That Hammond solo. I love it.
That's cool, man. Well, I want to say, Ray, Jordan, thank you so much for joining me and giving us a chance to hear some great new singer-songwriter music out there. And I like to say this lately about a lot of people I'm talking to. It's just, I want people to understand how great music, it's played by great musicians, and that's what makes great music.
Well, thank you so much. As we said kind of before, I really appreciate your taste in music, and I know, you know, you're just kind of. I was talking to him before we started. I said, "Oh, DJ RoXtar is just an encyclopedia of music, and he has a great taste." So, I'm very humbled and honored that you had us on your show.
It's a pleasure, guys, because again, I really want people to experience great music. And I think you guys have done that with this album because there's so many other great songs on here that we haven't even talked about, but I think people should just experience for themselves. And the best way to do that is, since the album is being released on August the 4th and it's out now, you can stream it on all of the main streaming services, such as your iTunes,
Yep.
your Spotify, your Tidal, right?
Yep, Amazon Music and pretty much all of them, almost all the streaming services. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then we're also going to have physical copies. I think are also going to be available too, Jordan.
Yes, actually, you'll be able to buy a physical copy on my website, and those will all be signed as well. So if you buy a CD on my website, it'll be signed. And also later on in the year, around late October, I'm going to be having vinyl copies as well, and those will also be signed. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's amazing, everybody. So hey, you know what's great? If you stream this record or you download it digitally, that's fine. But I think the best thing to have is an actual physical copy in your hands of the CD, and even better, of vinyl. And the best thing, is that Jordan just said he's going to autograph it for you. And that is the best way to have a vinyl or a CD, to have it personally signed by the artist. So Jordan, thanks so much for doing that. And this will hopefully people give a chance to, feel a bit personal. They're going to get something really personal signed by you. So make sure, folks, check Jordan's Facebook, check his Instagram, check his webpage as well, which is Jordan Micheal Peterson. So you're seeing that now on the screen, and follow that there. They'll have all the details for ordering in the future, CDs and vinyls autographed.
Yeah.
So there you go. Also, Jordan, for people to get more personal with you too, as we segue out, they can also actually almost catch a concert from you weekly, right?
Yes, actually, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I do these couch concerts, and they're kind of a very we started them. Me and my wife started them during the lockdown, and we've kept them going. So it's kind of it's a chill, relaxed concert, and we've developed a really fun community, and it's always all request, and you never know what I'm going to be playing, and Melissa is always dancing and having fun, and it's a lot of fun. So
well, that's great too, because I think if people tune into your concerts, as you said, they can actually make requests.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's
it's
cool.
all requests.
Great. And also, I think aside from Melissa, don't you have a third person that joins you for those couch concerts?
Well, we have our dogs, actually. Yeah, we have two dogs. Well, it started with just Nugget, but then we got a second dog named Chickpea. So they're a big part. Sometimes I think people enjoy the dogs more than the music, but it's okay.
All right, so everybody, make sure to get out there, get this great CD, join also Jordan for those couch concerts. And as well, Ray, thank you so much for joining us tonight, being a part of it.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Definitely. All right, guys, thanks so much. Take care, and God bless.
Thank you.
And then I'm halfway home to you. We still got a while and 1,000 miles, but I'll be there soon. I'm halfway home to you.